Ravens beat the Jets 23-10 for their fifth straight win. They are now 6-5 and are in first place in the AFC North after the Steelers lost to the Bears today. Defense carried again. Draymond Jones, 1.5 sacks. Mike Green got a sack. Marlon Humphrey stripped Breece Hall right before he was about to score. TJ Tampa got a game-ending interception for his first career pick. They won the turnover battle 2-0. Not the best day from the offense, especially in the first half. Only 3 points scored in the first half for 72 yards. They were 0 for 5 on third down, but found some life in the second half. Derrick Henry got 2 touchdowns in the red zone. Lamar finished 13 of 23, 153 yards. Ended up finding Zay 5 times for 58 yards. Zay Flowers was the biggest weapon today through the pass game. Not a dominant showing from the offense at all, but scored 20 in the second half to get the win. Shout out to Jordan Stout too. 74-yard punt in the second quarter to flip the field. Ties Sam Cook for the longest in Ravens history. Then with 4 minutes left, he had a 67-yard punt down to the 5-yard line. It hasn't been pretty, especially on offense, but the Ravens have won 5 straight games, are first place in the AFC North, and got the Bengals coming into town on Thanksgiving night. Let's go.
Ravens flock. The flock rundown is the place to be.
Motionless brainwaves attempt to swim their way to sense, can't tame the untamed.
What's up, Ravens fans? My name is Ryan, and welcome back to another episode of the Flock Rundown. I'm in a hotel right now, obviously not in the studio. I am traveling. I'm back home, going to the game on Thursday night, so that is the reason for this. But the Ravens just won their 5th straight game. They are in first place in the AFC North, technically tied. We have the same record as Pittsburgh, but we do get the tiebreaker at the moment, but we still have to play them twice, so we'll see how it plays out. But the Ravens are in full control of their own destiny after beating the Jets 23-10 today. The tale of 2 halves. I mean, the defense carried and was pretty consistent throughout the entire game, which has been pretty consistent for the last 6 weeks now. I mean, the defense has stepped up, but the offense struggled in this first half. I mean, Lamar looked off early in this game. We were unable to get the run game going again. We didn't really get the run game going all game, but especially in the first half. I mean, we only had 23 yards rushing at the end of the first half, and we had 3 points. We had 72 total yards on offense, and we're 0 for 5 on third down. Jets were doing a great job at stopping the run, which most teams have been doing recently. We're not getting a lot of push with that offensive line. Lamar's not running as much, even though he did kind of get warmed up and get going in the second half a little bit. He's not running as much as he has in the past. Therefore, defenses aren't really viewing him as much of a threat in the run game. They're attacking downhill, blowing up the line of scrimmage. We're not getting pushed with the offensive line. It's a struggle to get this run game going, and we're going to have to find a way to do it, especially as it keeps getting colder. But shout out to the Jets defense in the first half. Stop the run. We're doing a great job covering the middle of the field. You know, Lamar was holding on to the ball. There wasn't a lot of guys open either. I mean, Zay Flowers was a threat throughout the day, but Lamar didn't have a lot of places to go, and then he's holding on to the ball. He's not being as decisive as we're used to seeing, but in the second half, things got rolling a little bit, and we were launched by a pass interference penalty on Mark Andrews that kind of kept that drive alive, and we ended up getting 7 right out of the first half. Henry punched one in on the goal line on 4th down. Defense then got a 4th down stop in Ravens territory on 4th and 3 with Wiggins in coverage. Zay Flowers then gets pulled back and draws an offensive pass interference penalty. We did a good job of getting him in on some one-on-one situations in this game. Henry punches another one in. And then we ended up stalling in the red zone on the other 2 drives. Lamar missed Hopkins on a touchdown that definitely should have been connected on. He had a little stutter and go, was wide open. Lamar slightly overthrew him. But I did think Lamar was moving around a lot better in that second half. So I don't know if he just got more warmed up. I mean, I don't want to be too hard on Lamar. He's fighting through multiple injuries. He's got a hamstring injury, a knee injury, an ankle injury. That's why he's missing practice once a week to start the week on Wednesdays. Like, Lamar is battling through this, and I don't think he looks terrible. Just the first half, he was definitely off, missed a couple easy throws. The timing seemed off. You know, he wasn't as aggressive taking off to run. But in the second half, I started to see a little bit more Lamar, man. This offense started to get going, at least a lot more than the first half, but it still wasn't pretty. I mean, the offense has a ton of room to improve. I'm sure all the players would agree, but they did enough in this game to get the win, and mainly because the defense carried again, only letting up 10 points. Shout out to Draymond Jones and Mike Green. Both had a sack, but the Ravens defense did a great job in this one stopping the run. The Jets like to run the ball. They ran 26 times for only 78 yards. Breece Hall was held in check on the ground, 16 for 44. Breece Hall did end up leading the team in receiving with 4 catches for 75 yards. Mechie had 6 catches for 65 yards and a touchdown. They started getting some plays off in the second half when the Ravens got a lead, but 10 points is 10 points. And shout out to Marlon Humphrey for that strip near the goal line. This game would have actually been a lot lot closer if Breece Hall was able to score on that drive. He got that big screen pass out in the flat that he ended up busting for like 40 yards. But then they ran Breece Hall again, and Marlon Humphrey had a beautiful strip to stop that drive. And then shout out to TJ Tampa at the very end of the game. He got his first career interception, which ended up sealing the game. And the Ravens defense holds the Jets to 10 points. You can't ask for more than that. We are going to win a lot of games if we're holding teams under 20 and winning the turnover battle. You know, we got 2 turnovers, didn't turn the ball over on offense. That continues to be a recipe for this team. I know these wins aren't pretty right now. There's a lot to improve on, but we're winning these games, and that's the most important thing. You know, we're not blowing leads. We're not blowing games like this. You know, even though we're getting off to a slow start, we're finding a way to kind of turn things around and dominate in the second half. I thought the defense was pretty consistent throughout the entire game. Kyle Hamilton was everywhere. He did get hurt at the end of the game. It was an ankle injury. Harbaugh said it is not serious. Obviously, I don't know if he's going to play on Thursday night. That's a super quick turnaround. T. Higgins for the Bengals is out with a concussion in this game today, so that's another guy to watch for a quick turnaround on Thursday. You know, there's some guys that are banged up, might not be able to go on Thursday, but I'm hoping Kyle Hamilton's out there. He's fighting through some injuries too, but he was everywhere. He's a menace. Roquan Smith led the team in tackles today with 11. Kyle Hamilton had 10. Teddy Buchanan with 8. Mike Green had 5 tackles, a sack, and a tackle for loss. Travis Jones getting a lot of pressure up the middle. He had 5 tackles and a tackle for loss. Marlon Humphrey, 4 tackles, tackle for loss, forced fumble. Draymond Jones, 4 tackles, 1.5 sacks, and a tackle for loss. The defense continues to show up, and there's going to be some tests ahead. You know, if Joe Burrow returns on Thursday night, Jamar Chase returns on Thursday night, this defense is definitely going to be tested, but I definitely think they are in a much better place than they were, 6-7 weeks ago when we were playing the Texans. Ever since that Rams game, ever since the Gilman trade, and Gilman's been great. I know he's struggling to tackle. I think he's definitely got to improve with tackling. The whole team, actually, the whole defense. If I had to pinpoint one thing right now on the defense, it is missed tackles. There's been missed sacks, missed tackles that led to that Breece Hall big run. I mean, there's definitely some areas to improve on, but they are holding teams to a low amount of points and getting stops in the red zone, forcing turnovers most importantly, which is something we were not seeing earlier in this season. And they've done a great job of that recently. So shout out to this defense. Shout out to Zach Orr. Continues to show up week after week. This defense is getting better. I think Mike Green is getting better. The addition of Draymond Jones has been incredible. I mean, this guy is great against the run. He's getting pressure on the quarterback, and he's going to be an asset for this team. That was a great trade. And I also want to show some love to Jordan Stout. He had a 74-yard punt in the second quarter, which ties Sam Cook for the longest in Ravens history, completely flipped the field. And then with 4 minutes left in the game, he had a 67-yard punt down to the 5-yard line, which flipped the field. I mean, those are massive, man. You're in your own territory backed up, and you're getting them backed up in their own territory just off a punt. It's incredible. You're basically sucking out 20, 30 yards from their drive just because he's punting so well. And he's been punting incredible all season. In a contract year, Jordan Stout is showing up and forcing the Ravens to extend him. I don't think they're going to be able to go out there and just find a better punter. If Stout continues this trajectory, Ravens need to extend him 100%. And that wasn't always an obvious decision, years ago. His first couple years, it was a lot of inconsistencies. But this year, Jordan Stout has been one of the best punters in the game and just continues to actually impact the game. I mean, today he really had an impact on this game. He flipped the field twice, and that was massive, especially with how good our defense is playing and them forcing turnovers, them getting more pressure. A punting game is crucial, and shout out to Jordan Stout. He did a great job today. So this was not the prettiest win from the Ravens. I wouldn't say it was quite as ugly as the Cleveland game because it wasn't really that close. The Ravens did start to get a multiple score lead in the second half, but the first half was brutal, and I just feel like the Ravens offense could double their production. I mean, they are struggling to run, and Emory Jones Jr. was active for the first time today. I don't believe he got in the game, but Ben Cleveland was a healthy scratch, so that does show that they believe in Emory at least over Ben Cleveland, and I think Emory is going to potentially get a chance here at some point. I would love to see him out there, and we need better play from this offensive line, and we need to find a way to get this run game going at a dominant level. It is so weird as a Ravens fan to see us struggle to run the ball so much, especially in short yardage situations. It continued today. I mean, the improvement today is that we were able to punch a few in on the goal line, so that was nice. Derrick Henry got 2 touchdowns down there, but it still wasn't easy. It's a fight, and I know it's the NFL. It's always going to be a fight, but the Ravens usually can have a dominant run game, and we just haven't been seeing that this year, so hopefully that takes flight at some point if we got to get a new lineman in there, and then also Lamar Jackson getting more healthy. I don't think Lamar suffered any setback as far as we know, but I don't know. I didn't think he suffered a setback in each game in Cleveland or Minnesota, and then we find out he's missing practice for knee injury and an ankle injury, so he's obviously dealing with stuff. Both his feet were taped up today, so that's not normal for Lamar, and you could see a little bit of hesitation early in the game, but I did gain some confidence as the game went on. I think Lamar, he's still Lamar. Like, he's still a dominant player. We're not better with someone else out there, but we know Lamar can play at a much higher level than he has been, which I think is great news. With how this defense is playing, this offense has been struggling a little bit these past few weeks. Let's just continue to build and get this offense back on track. And then we get both sides of the ball playing at a dominant level, and this is a scary team down the stretch. The AFC is still wide open, and Ravens are sitting at first place in the AFC North right now. So we are in the playoffs. We are the 4th seed in the playoffs and have won 5 straight games. So can't wait for the game on Thursday night. Like I said a million times, I'm going to that game. Can't wait to see y'all if you guys are going there too. Let me know what you guys are thinking about this game. We have a very short week ahead of us. Thursday night will be here before we know it. Let me know what you're thinking about this game and that game and just the season outlook moving forward. Appreciate you guys, as always, for tuning in to another episode of the Flock Rundown. Have a beautiful rest of your night, and I'll let the greatest linebacker in the history of the game take us out.
Ravens flock. The flock rundown is the place to be. My man Ryan has been a lifelong Ravens fan since he was born. So I'm telling you now, it's about to go down. The podcast, the Flock Rundown. Ravens, baby. Nothing gets better than waking up and wondering how high we can fly. Tune in.